never thought I would be in that kind of marriage. The kind people whisper about. The kind you see and say, that could never be me. But it was. It started with words. Sharp. Painful. Constant. You're useless. You can't do anything right. At first, I ignored it. Told myself it was just anger. Just stress. Just a bad day. But bad days started becoming normal. And slowly, I started losing myself. I became quieter. Smaller. Careful with every word I spoke. Because I didn't want to trigger him. Then one night, everything changed. We argued. Nothing serious. But his reaction was different. Stronger. Scarier. And in that moment, I realized something I had been avoiding for so long. I was no longer safe. I stood there, heart racing, trying to understand how love turned into fear. And the hardest part wasn't what happened. It was what I told myself after. Maybe it won't happen again. Maybe he didn't mean it. But deep down, I knew the truth. And I had a choice to make. Stay or finally choose myself. After that night, I told myself it wouldn't happen again. I wanted to believe it so badly, because accepting the truth was harder than the pain. The next morning, he acted normal, like nothing had happened, like I hadn't spent the whole night shaking. Confused, scared, and when I tried to talk about it, he brushed it off. You're overreacting. It wasn't that serious. Those words made me question myself. Maybe I was overthinking. Maybe I was making it bigger than it was. That's what I told myself, until it happened again. This time, it wasn't about an argument. It wasn't about anything serious. It was just his mood. And suddenly, I found myself in that same situation. Fear, silence, walking on eggshells, trying not to say the wrong thing, trying not to breathe the wrong way. And that's when it hit me. This wasn't a mistake. This wasn't a one-time thing. This was a pattern, a cycle, and I was stuck in it. Days passed, but I was no longer the same. I stopped smiling, stopped talking to people, stopped being me, because I was constantly afraid of what might happen next, afraid of saying something wrong, afraid of him. And the worst part? No one knew. To the outside world, we looked normal, happy, perfect even. But behind closed doors, I was breaking, piece by piece. And one night, as I sat alone, in complete silence, I asked myself a question, one I had been avoiding for so long. How much more can I take? And for the first time, the answer scared me. Something inside me changed. The night I asked myself, how much more can I take? Because for the first time, I didn't lie to myself. The answer was clear. I couldn't take it anymore. I was tired, not just physically, but emotionally, mentally. I was tired of being afraid in my own home, tired of shrinking myself just to keep the peace, tired of pretending everything was okay when it wasn't. That night, I didn't cry. I didn't beg. I didn't make excuses. I just sat there, in silence, thinking. And slowly, I started seeing things differently. This wasn't love. Love doesn't make you afraid. Love doesn't make you feel small. Love doesn't break you. And for the first time, I allowed myself to accept the truth. I deserved better. Not perfect. Not easy. But better than this. The next day, I started doing something I hadn't done in a long time. I started thinking about me. What I needed. What I wanted. What kind of life I deserved. I reached out to someone I trusted. Quietly. Carefully. Not for attention, but for support. Because I knew I couldn't do this alone. And slowly, I started planning. Not loudly. Not dramatically, but intentionally. Saving small things. Preparing mentally. Building courage. Piece by piece. I was still scared. Very scared. But this time, my fear wasn't controlling me anymore. Because something stronger had taken its place. The decision? To choose myself. And as I looked around that house, the same place that once felt like home, I realized something. I wasn't trapped. I just hadn't walked away yet. And soon, I would. The day I left was the hardest day of my life. Not because I didn't want to go, but because of everything I was leaving behind. The memories, the hope I once had, the life I thought we would build together. I packed quietly, carefully, my hands shaking. But my mind was clear. This time, I wasn't going back. I didn't argue. I didn't explain. I didn't wait for permission. I just left. And as I walked out that door, I felt something I hadn't felt in a long time. Fear. But also relief. The air felt different. Lighter. like I could finally breathe again. The first few days weren't easy. I cried. I doubted myself. I questioned everything. But deep down, I knew I had done the right thing. Because for the first time in a long time, I was safe. Days turned into weeks. And slowly, I started finding myself again. I laughed again. Smiled again. Lived again. Not perfectly, but freely. And one day, I looked at myself in the mirror. And I didn't see the woman who was afraid anymore. I saw strength. I saw courage. I saw a woman who chose herself, even when it was hard. And in that moment, I realized something powerful. Leaving didn't make me weak. It saved me. So if you're watching this, feeling stuck, feeling afraid, feeling like you have no way out, please hear me. You are stronger than you think, and you deserve a life where you feel safe, where you feel valued, where you feel at peace. Because love should never make you afraid, and choosing yourself will always be the right decision.